needed. So again, thank you for joining us for our education hour. What these things are is a 1-hour monthly overview of tips and tools to make the usage of survey analytics more efficient and even fun to use to meet your research goals. Well, we meet every month, and all of our clients are welcome from different kinds of industry backgrounds and different sizes. And in this education hour, we also debut new product services now available to all current clients. And it's a great way to review all of the enhancements that we've made to the existing licenses. So on our agenda today, we're going to be focusing in on a few items from across different products and services that we provide here at Survey Analytics. The first thing we're going to do is just kind of do a little bit of education and give you some tips on how to do a multi-deployment strategy by using Survey Analytics. We're also going to be talking about some new things that we've added, such as Bootstrap 3 and what is it, and why it's great news to our existing customers. We'll also look at the dashboard and custom dashboards and revisit some of the enhancements that we've made recently. And we'll also look at online panel enhancements, some new themes and reward systems that we've added recently, as well as mobile enhancements to the tools SurveyPocket and SurveySwipe. And if there's time today, we'll end the day with a demonstration overview as well as a question and answer session. So the very first thing we're going to do here is talk about developing a multi-channel research strategy on Survey Analytics. If you were with us in March, we did talk about some basic multi-channel research tips and tools and how to do this from a very broad standpoint. But in this particular education hour, we're going to be talking about how to use it specifically in the tool Survey Analytics. So it's very client-based, and it can be used, immediately after you look at some of the things that we've suggested. And to define multi-channel research, we're not talking about cable TV. We're talking about market research projects that have 2 or more deployment strategies to reach your target base. So whether it's online or in a combination of online, offline, or using online and mobile, or all of them at once, we can definitely support that and handle that in Survey Analytics. As technology changes, we definitely are seeing more clients being more inclined to want to deploy a multi-deployment strategy to make sure that they can, get the best results possible. So basically, to get started here, we've broken it down to a few sections. The first one is the setup. So the first thing you'll want to do is, establish your client goals. Like, what is the purpose of your research? So I talk to a lot of clients, and they always say, our board would like to see a 15% increase in customer satisfaction. And so as a result, the market research team will have to go back and say, okay, what kind of questions and what kind of metrics can we use in order to measure that satisfaction? What is the current satisfaction, and see how we can increase that? What are some what are some plans that we can do to ensure that you can get to that 15% increase? So the next thing you'd obviously do is just figure out a development plan, and then figure out your completion rates required. So for example, are you trying to target 1,300 completes that are U.S. residents who live in the state with over 8% employment rate? So this is just a quick map that where you possibly would like to target. The third thing you do for the setup, is just set up any partnerships and vendors to use to help you get to that 15% increase, and that includes Survey Analytics. So we understand that in our tool, we've got a lot of capabilities and things that we can use to make things more efficient, and as a partner of ours, we want to make sure that our tools are working up and running and giving you the best options to help you get your goals and meet your goals, and have your board members be happy with the results that you offer to them. And that's just another picture of us working with some of our clients as well. So the next thing you would want to do is just look at, where to get your sample. So again, we talked about the 1300 completes, and you wanted to look into an opportunity to mix mobile and online respondents. The first thing you probably want to do is look at your Survey Analytics respondent panel if you have that a part of your license, and if you don't, you can always look into adding that. And that includes, people that you have in an existing database, a customer list, any of that stuff. Those are things that you can use as a way to getting started with your project. The next thing that you can do is you can work with our sample division called QSample, and you can set up a partnership to provide sample at a moment's notice. So if you're looking for, women between the ages of 18 to 24 that are currently in college and living away from their parents, and you want to target those people and ask them particular questions about their technology usage and who pays their bills and blah blah blah. Those are things that you can get from a sample company such as QSample, and we use them internally for our own marketing research that we do for testing, as well as some of the major publications that we've done recently. And so we highly recommend them. And it's really easy to do inside our system, and you would go through the standard Send Survey Send Survey tab to get access to them, and they can send you a quote right away. The next thing you also do is you can set up some marketing on social media and online forums. So if your company has a social media guru, definitely work with them in the market research space and see if you can garner some feedback directly from the people that follow you or have liked you. And they're usually people that are loyal to your brands or services, and they want to follow and see the new things that you have through their own social media. So that's a great place to increase some of your market research visibility. The fourth thing you can also do is do SurveyPocket fielding and setting up some field respondents and getting people out there with the tool. So you don't have to be tethered to an online pocket tablet. You can just go offline. You don't have to have internet access, and go ahead and just collect data just like you would with a pen and paper, but then instead of having to input the data, you just have to click one sync button and get all the data set up into one place, so you can combine its data along with the online surveys and the mobile surveys as well. Last thing you want to do is to set up an incentive. So whether or not it's a $100 Amazon gift card for a drawing, or if it's $5 here and there, the incentive is definitely something that helps drive people to want to participate and give you feedback. Not all feedback is going to be free feedback, especially feedback that you need to help you make some very important business decisions. So there is a cost to that associated, obviously. So having a good incentive is always good. And in our system with Survey Analytics, you can also set up your incentives through our panel tool and have that all taken care of from one single place. So that's pretty exciting. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the survey programming. So within Survey Analytics, you want to make sure that the survey that you program is going to be compatible on multi-platforms. So that includes the mobile survey and the online survey. And the good thing about that, especially since you're already comfortable with deploying and programming the survey, you only need to program it once in order to apply a multi-deployment channel, and then it'll already be built in to target those respondents. And then make sure to dedicate time to test on all platforms. And it's really important. I'm working with clients currently right now that are running both an online survey and a SurveyPocket survey. And even though the formatting can be a little bit different on both ends, it is important to make sure that the question types that you have are going to be supported on both sides, as well as the look and feel is going to be smooth. So, dedicating time on that is going to be key to helping you collect data more efficiently. So also make sure that all the data flows into one area. So whether you're syncing it, or if you're using the mobile tool, or if you're using the online survey uh, tool, or even the panel, all of the data can go into one area. And then what that does for you is it allows you to segment the data according to whether or not you use the mobile, whether you use the platform, the SurveyPocket platform, or the online survey. And you'll be able to segment and be able to target and see what is the best way that you have deployed the surveys. Maybe you should invest in more mobile if you're getting a lot of really good responses and particular target demographics, or if you are finding that SurveyPocket isn't the best way to collect data for you, then maybe you want to look into other ways. So it's a really interesting thing to review and think about. And also, again, you can also apply custom variables or external references to any of the survey URLs for tracking both the online and in-person, marketing. You can also set up QR codes to have people take the surveys immediately, and marketing banners, etc. So you can really target, all over the place. But again, everything will be flowing into one area. So here's a great example. So if you have a survey and all you need to do is just add an external reference, and you can say it's Beerfest, Ohio at the end, and then you can even segment by that, so you can see how many responses you got and how successful that particular deployment channel was. And here's just a quick example of a QR code in which you can take to go to your excuse me, take to your online survey or mobile survey immediately. Let's go ahead and talk about multi-channel security. Anytime you're running a multi-deployment strategy, it's important to consider the different kinds of security precautions that you need to take. So it's different on mobile versus online versus doing it on SurveyPocket. So security settings in all surveys is very important, but again, X times more important for every additional channel you plan to use. So make sure to use an outline security settings and expectations for each online surveys, mobile, online, in person, or in the phone, or etc. It's important to also set up security options in Survey Analytics under the Edit Survey and Survey Settings. And then for mobile settings, you just want to make sure to go into the Mobile tab and then update the security. And then also in the panel, you can also jump in and set up your security as well. So there's 3 different areas that you'll need to consider when you are updating your security. So just go ahead and make sure you hit up the settings for the online survey, mobile, and then panel. And here's a quick screenshot of the security available under the panel and the site behavior. Setting up a deployment schedule. Now, this can be done, outside of the tool. We don't have a scheduler in our system, but it's important to make sure that your entire team is on board with this. This is the schedule that we've used internally when we do our own market research, but then you guys can come up with your own. However, they do cover pretty much every single particular option that you can possibly do. So the very first thing you can do when setting up a calendar and scheduling your deployment on multi-platforms is to start off with any social media or marketing campaign if you are planning to do so. Usually that is a very inexpensive way to do it. It requires some time, and especially from your marketing team to really campaign it and get it forward. So that's why we added that one first and the results that you get from it can be really, really good, and it helps you make decisions on how much you want to do for the rest of your campaign. The second thing that you can do while you're running your social media campaign is setting up posters, any collateral and QR codes and URL promotions, whether those are paper posters or online banners. This is the time to do that. The third one is to set up your SurveyPocket field data collection deployment team and target those particular areas. And then the fourth thing is to deploy to internal community using the panel management tool. So if you do have a panel tool and you already see that you're getting some pretty good results from outside marketing, then you don't necessarily need as many of the panel inside. But that's up to you how you want to do that. Or if you're finding that you're not able to get enough responses by using a marketing or social media campaign, then targeting more people in your panel is ideal at that point, and rethinking your incentives as well. Excuse me. And the fifth thing to do is, supplement your data with key samples. So if you're finding that your responses aren't so great in these different areas, then you can also go in and add a supplement with some external database from respondents and sample. Excuse me. I apologize for that. I'm just getting over a tiny cough here. So the next thing here that we're going to talk about is the multi-channel analytics and how we simplified that. So based on all of the different channels that we've used, all the data from the multi-channels should be in one place, and it will be in one place, and that's what is one of the main benefits of using Survey Analytics. So what it does, it will save you some time in compiling the data from multi-channels, and then you'll also be able to segment by deployment channels as well. And you'll also be able to compare the results to see which deployment channel works best for you and what is also cost effective. So for example, if you are finding that doing a campaign might cost you a little bit of money versus using an internal panel, then what you can do is say that you probably want to invest into building the panel out more and versus spending money on single marketing campaigns, and etc. Other things you can also do with the data that you've received is that you can then go ahead and export and download it in different formats, as well as doing a lot of online real-time analytics that we offer in our system. So here again, just getting all the data, compiling it into one area is always beneficial, and then being able to segment your data by different areas. So if you want to review your online results versus people, Gina's iPad versus Greg's iPad, and see what the results are, you can do that as well. And then you can also do a comparison online to see how one iPad does over another, or how the iPad's data versus the online data, how are those different. So those are things that you can do. And of course the download options. So that's just a little bit about some of the things that you can do with Survey Analytics. Let's go ahead and jump into what's new in Survey Analytics in particular. So I'm sure you guys are excited to see what our development team has been working on. The very first thing that we want to talk to you about is Bootstrap 3. And Survey Analytics has implemented Bootstrap, which is a front-end toolkit that's created by Twitter. And basically it automatically makes things compatible for online and mobile platforms, as well as different browser versions. And in addition, you'll be able to see some new things that we've added. Maybe you have already seen some new things, such as newer icons, themes, formats, and you're going to see even more of that coming. The goal of doing this is just a better user experience. And this will make Survey Analytics even more intuitive and easier. We're going to be cutting out a lot of steps to set up, deploy, and analyze your data. So everything that we're doing with Bootstrap 3 is going to be beneficial to our customers. So regardless if you're strictly a person that uses the surveys for online surveys, or if you're on a tablet, or if you're doing mobile, Bootstrap 3 is going to really change and enhance user experience as well as the survey taking experience as well. So this is something that customers should be really excited about. And then the following items that you're going to see are going to be as a result of the changes to Bootstrap 3. So this is just a quick example of some of the new icons that we've added. I'm sure you may have seen them on your own, but if you know, for example, clicked on Edit Survey and you see some of the new icons to the left, which is, you know, the Add Edit Questions, Survey Overview, Settings, Security, you know, those kinds of things. Those are part of Bootstrap 3, and it just makes things more intuitive, a lot easier to use, and so it is very exciting. Obviously, if you guys have any, you know, comments or questions about that, you know, feel free to contact your customer success manager, and we'd be happy to listen and hear more about your feedback on the new items that we're adding as well. Another thing that we've added recently is the dashboard reports. I'm sure you guys have started using it, and we've added a new tool to it, which is called the configurations. In the past, you would have to just click on the configurations on the tab separately, but this time, while you're going through the dashboard report, you can now go ahead and click on the wheel and then set up your configurations as you go through the dashboard. So you, no need to get out of the page and go to someplace different. You can do it right within. So again, with this, it will be real-time configuration. You know, click on the wheel for each question, and then you can go in and configure the data as you would need. So this is, for example, if you need to go in and update your inverse scale and change your answers if you need to. And then once you have that set up, then you can go ahead and save your scale values, and then that will be reflected in your dashboard report. You also have the option if you'd like to share your configured data with other dashboard accounts, and the dashboard accounts are the ones that only have access to just the reporting side, so you can turn this on and have them be shared particular ones. So that also means that you can share, you know, particular questions this way or the whole survey. So that's really up to you as well. So make sure to see that option when you are going through configurations. Other things we've also added with the configurations and the dashboard report as well, just kind of a reminder that you can update your theme. So you don't have to always go with our default theme. You can do something like Happy Picnic theme, change your, you know, whether or not you want to change the stats or get rid of the world map, or add time series or get rid of the word clouds. You know, those are up to you. So you can really go in and customize your dashboard reports to make it look the way that you want. And then once you set that up, just click on Save Settings. And the very last thing here is that you can customize your charts and grids for the best analytical display. So for example, if you want one question to be about displayed as a pie chart, and then you also want your question below that to be a grid instead of a column or a chart, that's up to you. So once you have these all set in here, then you can go ahead and share those results as well. So we're really excited about adding the configurations, adding more, you know, interactive items, adding themes, changing the grids and the charts, you know, for the best display for you. If you haven't been playing around or using the dashboard reports, we're strongly encouraging you to do so, and that's really going to help you with with, you know, being able to display the data, you know, a lot easier, and even make it fun for your team as well. The new item that we've also added that we hope that our clients are going to be excited about is the quick custom variable mapping. And basically what that is, it makes things a lot easier to update and map your custom variables to names and values to be used for piping, logic, or any raw data, and even data segmentation. So what you'll do is you'll go to the Add Edit tab, and then just click on System Variable Mapping. And what you would do is click on the Quick Add button, which you can see here, and then you can enter one variable mapping per line. And so, for example, here, if you have, household income, city, and state as some of your columns that you would like to include, that's going to be in your first variable. So I have variable 1, 2, 3 being shown. I got household income, city, and state, and then I have some of the codes that are included with that the system will pick up from there. And so, we have some examples there, and you just want to make sure it's one per line, and each custom variable can be mapped only to one value, and the display name should be unique. You shouldn't be using it multiple times, and the code must be unique and not contain special characters, including space. And this is an optional field, so you don't actually have to put the code in if you don't want. And the first column is a custom variable for, so for example, if it's 3 and it's state, that's going to be custom 3. And we'll go ahead and do an example of this later so you can see what it would do as well. So we hope that this is going to help you save a lot of time and a lot of, opportunities to do even more mapping and customize it according to the responses that people are doing in the survey, as well as some existing data that you already have collected. You can import that in the system and then use that as part of the display options or piping options that you're going to be having in your tool. Let's go ahead and jump into the new things that we've added in Panel. And Panel is also our online community management tool as well. And one of the new things that we've added that is really exciting for the users is that we've added some new themes. So if you have no time or design horsepower to create a theme for your online community or panel, then Survey Analytics makes it easier with an out-of-the-box library of mobile responsive themes. So what that means is that the themes are going to be compatible both online and mobile, no problem. And again, that's a result of the enhancement by adding Bootstrap 3. All you need to do is basically add a theme and update your logo, headers, and your community homepage and your member portals, and then you're all complete. And to set that up, all you need to do is go to the Access Panel settings and then go ahead and change your themes from there. Some of the benefits of the new themes is going to include just a better UI or user experience, and it's also responsive to the mobile first, so it's going to look really nice, and you don't have to worry about doing separate themes for mobile and online. It's just going to be pretty much the same. With Bootstrap 3, it makes things easier to theme, and it also lays down the foundation for easier custom theming across the application. So what that means for you is that if you do have people in your team that are, tech savvy or graphic savvy and would like to update the themes to match your company's look and feel, it's going to be a lot easier to do that with the new enhancements that we've had. And then also we have offered some smaller file sizes by minified properties, and Bootstrap 3 is much more viable for these sites that need to work well with underpowered mobiles or tablet devices. So that means that if they are running a lower version or an unupdated version of a browser on their tablets or mobiles, the themes are still going to be showing up and it will work just fine, and that is not going to get in the way or inhibit the opportunity to collect feedback. So here are some examples of some themes that we're working with. So you can see it's just plain black with blue and white. You can also change, the look and feel, make it all blue if you need to. And then you can even go into different colors. And last, of course, this is what a basic mobile panel would look like. And it'll have mobile navigation available for you as well. And so even though this looks a little bit plain, what it does give you is a whole range of opportunities for customization. And you're not stuck with these. I mean, you can definitely do a lot more. And if you don't have the people on your team that can work on this, we do have, graphic designers and CSS designers that can really make this look great. So this is a great place for panel and opportunities to really customize it and make it your own, in a place that your respondents are really going to want to interact with you more. So what's new on SurveyPocket? Let's go ahead and just jump into that. We haven't talked about SurveyPocket in a while, so that's why I wanted to kind of bring up some new things that we're adding. So the very first thing that is going to be showing up on the latest version of SurveyPocket is that you're now going to be able to see multiple questions on a screen. So that's really good news, especially for those who want the opportunity to scroll down and just take the survey right away. Instead of doing it one page at a time, they can just, scroll down and take, a matrix table to a smiley face question to any kind of question type. And then go ahead and take the survey as needed. And if you still need to do, a page breaks in between, you can program that online and then just sync it, and then it'll be available to you on your SurveyPocket tool. We're also offering an opportunity to do white label options as well. So if you want to update your themes, customize the look and feel of your offline tool, then you'll be able to create your own app as well. So you don't have to necessarily use SurveyPocket. You can have your own as well, especially if you are a brand sensitive company. This will be an area that you can really improve, and so people can know that this is your offline survey tool, not our survey online tool, and we will maintain that and use that and update it with all the latest features and tools that are available on it as well. So that's something to get exciting about. Here's an example of a craft beer tool that we've white labeled. The other thing we've also added to SurveyPocket is a dashboard report. So what you can do is you can finish the surveys where you left off, and you can jump in and see where you can continue on. So you can look at your response viewer. So if you have any incompletes, then you can go ahead and change that and talk to the same person and complete the survey. So that's going to help you with going back and finishing up your surveys as well. The new version of iOS for SurveyPocket was released on April 21st, and that should be in the store in the next couple days. And the Android update is already in store right now, so if you are running an Android tablet, go ahead and download and update that as well. So what's new in mobile? There's a lot of things that are new in mobile actually, but we're kind of focusing on two different areas of it. You've probably seen in the beginning of the year that we've really pushed a lot on the mobile app SDK, and that's just a software development kit that's available for all mobile applications. So if you're a company that currently has a mobile app and you would like to add a survey tool to that without actually building a separate tool, then you can go ahead and just add survey software development kit from Survey Analytics to your mobile application. And so what that does, it will allow you to add surveys to your existing mobile apps, and then you'll be able to get the real-time results on the go. It's available on all of the platforms that are available. And it also includes some passive data collection. So if you're interested in doing research on, accelerometer, GPS, app usage, battery life, we'll collect all that, and that will be included with the data that you are collecting from the surveys. You'll also be able to do white label and match the app look and feel if you need, so it doesn't necessarily have to look like SurveySwipe. It can actually just continue to look like your app as well. And the process to plug in the mobile app and enhance your current mobile app with a software development kit is very easy. The timeline is then 1 to 3 weeks, and if you're interested in doing that, just speak to your customer success team manager and we can get you started. We've gotten several of our clients who do have apps and they want to add a survey component to that, and so it's literally like a one-time setup fee plus, annual maintenance and upkeep. But it is very easy to do, and the customization and work that is required to do this is actually very easy. So think about it and just let us know if that's something you'd like to include with your current mobile apps. And the last thing that we've also added with the mobile tool is a panel access code. And so, all Survey Analytics customers can now take advantage of SurveySwipe at no additional cost. So if you have a panel with us, you can create a panel access code and enable SurveySwipe in just a few minutes. And what that means for you guys is that if you do have an online panel and then you are interested in doing a multi-deployment strategy, but you're worried about, whether or not mobile is right for you, it doesn't take too much to give it a go and try. So it is, basically the next step when you are having an online panel. The next step is the mobile panel. And so to do that, all you need to do is just add a unique mobile identifier to your panel access code to log into the correct community, and then you're all set to go. So it's just a matter of just logging in, and they type in the access code, and then they now have, SurveySwipe available on their tool, and then they're in the correct panel, and then you can start sending them surveys and grabbing real-time data when they need. And the tool is available on iOS and Android, and so the cost of it, if you do have a panel already, it doesn't cost you extra to turn this on and start moving some of your surveys to a more mobile compatible survey. And if you don't have panel but you're interested in doing a mobile panel, definitely speak to your customer success team manager, and we can set you up with a demonstration and get you slowly started to see if this is a right fit for your research strategy. So let's go ahead and kind of jump into a live demo here. Looks like we have a few minutes left. And so I'm really just going to be focusing in on just the online tool and some of the new things that we've added. So let's go ahead and jump in to probably one of my favorite surveys, our Education Hour feedback that we sent out in January. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with working on the variable mapping. So again, if you are interested in piping and logic and using the data that you already have about your panelists, then adding a variable mapping is going to be very beneficial. And in addition to that, you can also use that, and when you download the raw data, it's going to show, instead of custom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll be mapped with the actual words that you're using. So for example here, I've got an import employee sample, and maybe I would like to use some of the information that I have and use this with segmentation. So if I know that the first custom variable is supervisors, employee role, employee team, and location, and have those coded, then I've already uploaded this in my email list because these are people I'm going to target. Then you can do just a standard ad, which we've had for a few months now, and then you can just map the custom variables and then display name. So that's one way of doing it. The quicker way to do it is our quick ad here. And so if I want to do custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, that's how you would do it. And then you can jump in, and then I can type in the word supervisor. And then what else did I have on here? So employee role. And employee team. And as you recall from the conversation or from the presentation earlier, it says you can add a code, but it's optional. So since it's optional, I'm just going to leave that blank. So once you have that set up in your system, just go ahead and save this. So this makes it a lot easier for you to pull the data. And then, of course, if you've already uploaded the information into your system, it's going to automatically already pull and see who's who. So that makes things a lot easier, we believe, when you are doing the variable mapping. So once you set that up, just go ahead and save that. And so now this is going to be a part of the data that you're going to download. So if you go into your analytics and you want to jump in and download the raw data, then your raw data is going to include the new custom variable codes as well. So that's going to be exciting. And so, give that a try and let us know what you think about that. We think it's going to help save you guys a lot of time and also enhance the way you are currently creating your surveys as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the other item that we've included here or added recently, which is in our dashboard. So if you haven't played around with this, the first thing I would recommend doing is just clicking on the left nav or the left settings tool, and then you can pick a theme. So if I want to go from, happy picnic theme to color burst, and if I want to pull or get rid of some of the information, I can do that. Or add a world map, you can go ahead and save the settings. And now I have all these new items as well. And once you have that, you can also go to your filter dashboard. As you guys know, we can do custom variable download, so you can see the custom variable codes that we have here, employee, team codes as well. And then you can also look from the questions in the survey. So if you'd like to do the segments based off of the responses, you can do that. And then also add a time period as well. Scrolling down here, let me just make that a little smaller. Scrolling down here, you can see that now you have your settings, and this is where you get the configure reporting tool. So in the past, you had to click outside and configure it separately, but now you can configure it within the dashboard report. And so you can click on configure reporting, and then you can go in and update the data that you would like. So that includes customizing your mean calculation, customizing your inverse scale and scoring model. So if you need to go in and make changes, you can do that. So this is the model that we have, and then you can enable the customized scaling. And then if you'd like to add it to the dashboard report, this is where you would click it here. And now you have this as part of the dashboards. And this is for those who only have access to the reports, and so you want to apply any configurations, and now they can access and see that as well. Other things you can also do inside here besides configuring, you can also download the question, single question into Excel. You can also look at some trend data, and you can also create banners and pivot tools, and segment by this question if you'd like as well. So there's definitely a lot more interactive options that you'll see from inside the dashboard. And again, if you would like to have one question be a pie chart and you would like another one to be a grid or a pie or a bar, a line, you can go ahead and change that. So you're not going to be stuck with, just all pie charts. You can do different things if you'd like. So here I have a pie chart above, and then the next question I have a grid. So that's pretty exciting. And in addition, you can also do the same things in your custom dashboard report. So in your custom dashboard report, you can also set up, select particular question types, set up a logo and go in and add your particular questions, and then set up the variables. So if you only want it by a particular employee, a team number, and then save it, then that's up to you how you would like to do that. And then from inside here, you'll also be able to apply filters and segment as well. So this is a custom dashboard report with select question types, and then they can go in and make some changes, and they have access to filter and review the data here as well. So, work with these two and let us know what you think about it. We're really curious. We think it is a great tool. It is in the works that we are going to eventually replace a real-time summary with a more interactive online report. And the last thing, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you also have the options to go ahead and PDF this file, download it, and share it with people. And then you also have the option to share an online option as well. So you can enable the sharing, add an access code, make a shareable link, and then you can preview it and share it in all these different ways that are here. So click on saving and you're all good to go. So those are the main two things that I'm going to be focusing on today, just kind of with the live demo. And what I'll do now is we'll go ahead and open up the floor to any questions from the audience. So Gina, is there any questions that are coming through today?
Yes, Esther, we actually did have a great question. We had someone ask, how do you switch your old panel design to the new one? You showed the screenshots of the differences earlier, but physically how to go in and change that.
That's a great question. So basically, to do that, you would just need to go into your panel settings and you'll be able to access the customized portals and make the changes underneath the setting options. And so all you need to do is just scroll down to the bottom and then update your themes. So a lot of it actually is going to, some of it's going to be automatic and some of it is not. So if you are curious about that, feel free to contact your customer support rep or your customer success manager and they can walk you through it. But basically, updating it under your settings is all you'll need to do.
Okay, perfect. And you
And
mean it might not carry over the logo and associated customization,
yeah.
or?
That's a good question. If there are some customizations required, we'll take a look at that and we'll walk you through the whole process. So if there's already some old customization that's done on the original and you are interested in just doing a revamp of the new, maybe there's a little bit more that's required. So I don't want to talk out of line here, but I do know that as you work with your CST manager, we can help you with that.
Okay. Perfect. And that was the only question on the table at this time. Are there any further questions from anyone attending today?
Okay. All right, well, that's no problem. One thing I wanted to share with everybody is that, we are offering special pricing for our attendees. So, to thank those who do attend our education hour, we always offer some sort of special discount off a new thing. And we've teamed up with QSample this month to offer a 10% discount for a sample of responses needed for surveys for first-time QSample customers. So if you're already spending money on buying a sample, check out qsample.com or talk to your CST manager to get you in touch with the kind of data that you need, and we can get you a great quote to help you. And the way that you would access them is pretty simple in terms of, going into the system, going in and clicking on Send Survey, and then if you like respondent access, then just click on respondent access here, and then you'll be able to jump in and um, add some requests for some panels. So you let us know what survey you want, who you'd like to target, how many completes you want and some additional notes, and then we can submit a request. You can do it like that, or talk to your CST manager and we can help you get a quote and set everything up. And one of the good things about the key sample company is that they're very well versed with our tool. They actually use our tool every day just as much as probably you do. And so they know how to set everything up, get the data in there, and then run it all for you on your behalf. So check them out. 10% discount. Any kind of discount you get is a good one. So I would recommend that. All right, so we are done with the education hour today. If there's any other questions, feel free to reach out to your CST manager. And just to let you guys know that we do offer help and support 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. You can access them at surveyanalytics.com/help, or you can contact your current CST manager and we can definitely assist you and talk more about the items that the new enhancements that we have, or if you have any feedback about the new enhancements that we've had, we definitely would love to hear from you about that. So thank you so much. And Gina, any last words from you?
No, thank you for another great presentation, Esther. And I think that about wraps it up. Stay tuned for the next invitation to next month's education